Welcome back. Working with creative people can be a challenge. It's not that creative people are difficult as individuals, though you can expect a higher probability of that. It's the fact that we as designers think differently. I'd like to remind you that I myself have been designing since 2012. So, where does this friction come from between companies and designers? Number one is our surroundings. Designers typically work from home. Designers don't typically need to be in the office day in, day out. And even those who don't work fully remote are typically working in a hybrid mode. So, this means that designers are not really all that familiar with boardrooms and meetings of all sorts. Working from a coffee shop changes the way you interact with people. You're a bit more relaxed. You don't typically dress in a business attire, and you're not pressed by back to back meetings. So that's the first reason. The second reason working with creative people can be a bit of a challenge is this: it's creativity itself. In a business setting, most goals are achieved in a somewhat linear fashion. The process may accelerate from time to time, but in most cases, the more work you do, the closer you are to your objective. It's like doing 100,000 push ups. As you do more and more, your fitness level goes up. You may do sets of 20 or sets of 100. Fact is, as you do more of them, you're getting closer to your objective. Again, linear. On the flip side, coming up with a logo or a packaging design doesn't work that way. Creativity requires freedom. It may take a few minutes or a few months. The amount of effort is not correlated with the quality of the outcome. I'm going to say that again. The quality has nothing to do with the amount of effort that's been put in. You can draw the Nike logo in a matter of minutes, but that doesn't make it low value. Time is a tricky thing when it comes down to creativity. You can't really correlate the two. And that brings me to point number 3. Deadlines don't really work with creative people. Sure, if you hire a designer to bang out 20 banners for your social media, sure, establishing a clear deadline may be okay. But if you're looking for the brand new visual identity for the company, meaning logo, color scheme, overall aesthetics, then you can't really put a hard deadline down. This is where this friction comes from. You hire a plumber and you ask how long, and he's gonna give you a reasonable estimate. You hire a designer and ask how long, and you won't really like that answer, which is typically gonna sound like, I don't know, or it depends. The takeaway is that you're not paying for a linear process at the end of which you're guaranteed a satisfactory outcome. Some creative activities will be strangled by these otherwise sound frameworks. Like, when do you start? Where's the 25% mark? Where's the 50% mark? And where's the end? Those are valid questions. Or checking in daily to see the progress, or having a stand-up meeting, or applying an hourly rate for compensation. Now, those don't really work. To sum it up so far, designers are not used to a corporate or business environment because they tend to work from home or fairly isolated. Creative designers don't really work in a linear fashion, and time and quality are not closely related. And because of all that, deadlines are hard to impose. Being in control is important for the business and its shareholders. Creative people cannot be put in a box and then expect them to think outside of the box and wow you. That's why it's hard to work with creative people. Coming closer to the problem, there's also a matter of assigning a correct dollar amount for their work, creating a brief, giving feedback, establishing a framework for communication, and a few other issues. We're going to talk about all of them in detail. For the moment, we've established a few friction points and we're beginning to understand them. Let's take a quick break.